Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everybody is doing well. My name is Keith Whittier. Today, I will be giving you some of my Oscar predictions. These predictions are certifiable by me. I think we are in a good place with the Oscars. I feel confident with the picks that I will be giving you today. Now, I want you to keep in mind I'm only going to be going through some of the awards. The full prediction list will be available this Friday in my article in Ottawa Life magazine. So today we will be going through some of my predictions for some of the major awards. Of course, if there's specific awards that you want to talk about, drop me a line and we can definitely do that. But I'm excited. I have to tell you, I love the Oscars. Now, of course, last year was a very interesting Oscar ceremony in the sense of, for the first time ever, the last award of the evening was Best Actor. Now, historically, it had always been Best Picture. For decades, it had been Best Picture. Now, of course, last year, the entertainment world was reeling from the loss of Chadwick Boseman, who, of course, was in last year's Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and there was a lot of expectation that he was going to win Best Actor. So the producer, I believe it was Steven Soderbergh, the director, was producing last year's telecast, and he said, you know what? Let's have Best Actor as the last award of the evening. Well, leading up to the awards, we'd seen Chadwick Boseman win Best Actor at all the different major award shows. Then we get to the Oscars, last award of the evening, and Anthony Hopkins ends up winning. Anthony Hopkins, I can't take anything away from him. Fantastic actor, great performance in The Father last year, the role that he won for. But then, wouldn't you know, Anthony Hopkins wasn't in attendance because of this little thing called COVID. So the awards basically ended with the Oscar goes to Anthony Hopkins. He's not here today. We're going to accept on his behalf. Good night, everybody. It was a very, very interesting night. So this year I'm expecting there's going to be a crowd. We've got not one, not two, but three hosts: Amy Schumer, Wanda Sykes, and Regina Hall. I have seen two of those ladies perform stand-up before. I've not seen Regina Hall's stand-up routines before. I will say she's very funny. I remember her back in the movie The Best Man, and and all the way through lots of different films like Girls Trip and what have you. Very funny. So I'm looking forward to seeing how what sort of chemistry the three of them have and how they perform. I'm going to tell you something. I'm a bit of a nerd. This shouldn't be news, but you know how some people listen to like Christmas music in July? I'm the type of guy, I like to go back and watch like some of the different monologues from different Oscars in years past on YouTube. For my money, the best Oscar host is Billy Crystal. I just love his hosting style. But I know they've had a lot of people over the years, like your David Lettermans, your Neil Patrick Harris's, your Chris Rocks, whoever, and they've all done a decent job to some degree. But to me, Billy Crystal is still the absolute best. As people join us, I would love to hear, like, what were some of your favorite movies from the last year? Let me know in the comment section, like, some of the different movies that you guys really liked, and we can talk about it. And we're going to get going with the nominations very shortly. The nominations and the predictions very shortly. Again, if you're just joining, I'm going to be going through some of my predictions right now. And the full list will be available this Friday through Ottawa Life magazine, and I'll be posting that to my social media. So by all means, feel free to check that out on Friday. And also, how many of you are going to be like questions? How many of you are going to be watching the Oscars? Let me know. How many of you are in an Oscar pool? I had somebody reach out to me this week and say, "When are your predictions coming up?" I'm in an Oscar pool, which I absolutely love that there's that level of participation, but I also feel a certain level of stress if I let anybody down. So hopefully that won't be the case. I think my predictions are pretty legit. So we'll see. We have Coda from Cher. Coda was a phenomenal film. My favorite movie of 2021. This is a movie that had its premiere at the Sundance Film Festival in January of 2021. Didn't get its release until August, which is interesting because it's a major contender, and it's a major contender that did not go through the Toronto International Film Festival. but it's very interesting. It won the audience awards, it won the jury awards at Sundance, and then the good people over at Apple TV had the good sense to spend, I think it was like 25 million for the rights to distribute it. So and obviously Coda has been extremely popular during this award season. So all right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get going here. Let's start off with this first award, which is the nominees for actress in a supporting role. Okay, so here we've got 5 strong nominees. Um, we have got Jessie Buckley in The Lost Daughter. A fantastic performance. I'm not sure if you guys saw The Lost Daughter. I believe it's on Netflix right now. I don't know that The Lost Daughter has really connected with a lot of audiences. I know it did well at the Independent Spirit Awards, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. Ariana DeBose, of course, in West Side Story, Steven Spielberg's musical. Judi Dench, who's won before for her role in Belfast. Kirsten Dunst in The Power of the Dog. The Power of the Dog is getting there's a lot of discussion about it. One discussion I have not heard is anybody coming up to me and saying, "Hey, Keith, I love Power of the Dog." And Anjanae Ellis for King Richard. Okay, so looking at this, when the nominees first came out, I would have predicted for you that Kirsten Dunst would have been the one to win it. Again, Alice's performance was good, but I don't think it was enough to carry her through. Buckley, I think, had one of the best performances in this category, but again, there didn't seem to be a lot of momentum around her, and people love and respect Judi Dench, but again, I don't think enough for her to win this. For me, this really came down to DeBose and Dunst. Given the momentum she's on right now with cleaning up with the different awards, I am going to say that my pick for supporting actress is going to be Ariana DeBose. I am picking her to win this. I think her performance in West Side Story was very good, and it'll be interesting because Rita Moreno also won an Oscar for the exact same role. So that is what I am predicting for you in the supporting actress category at this Sunday's Academy Awards. All right, let us move in to supporting actor. Okay, we've got some definite strong nominees here. Kieran, if I think I'm pronouncing that right, Hines in Belfast. I don't know if you guys had the chance to watch Belfast. Kenneth Branagh's love letter to his birthplace. I think it's an absolutely beautiful movie. Troy Kotsur in Coda. Jesse Plemons in The Power of the Dog. J.K. Simmons in Being the Ricardos, and Cody Smith-McPhee in The Power of the Dog. Now, again, this is kind of where my mentality has changed. Again, when the nominees first came out, I thought it's probably going to go to Cody Smith-McPhee. But over the course of the last few weeks, with the different awards that he's accumulating, I honestly feel that we're going to see Troy Kotsur win for his performance in Coda. If you haven't seen Coda, make sure finish watching this and then go and watch it, because it's a fantastic film. I really enjoyed it, and his performance in this film is fantastic. Of course, if you don't know, he's a deaf actor, which would make him the first deaf actor to win an Academy Award. Of course, Marlee Matlin, his co-star in this film, first deaf actress to win for her performance in Children of a Lesser God. This was a very sweet film. And it was just amplified, I think, even more so with his fantastic performance. So Troy Kotsur is my pick. Of course, if you disagree with anything, jump into the comment section. You guys are pretty quiet, but jump into the comment section and we can definitely chat about it. All right. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, let us go into the nominees for Best Actor, shall we? So in Best Actor, we've got Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos. We've got Benedict Cumberbatch from The Power of the Dog. We've got Andrew Garfield in Lin-Manuel Miranda's directorial debut, Tick, Tick, Boom. Will Smith in King Richard, and my twin brother, you see the resemblance, Denzel Washington in The Tragedy of Macbeth. Some really great performances here. Now, last year at this time, we all felt, or at least I felt, and a lot of other people felt, that again, Chadwick Boseman was going to, be the surefire winner to win Best Actor. And I will tell you that I do feel that Will Smith, here he is right here, is going to win best best um, best actor. But here is something that I want you to consider. So this is some kind of like weird Illuminati type of thing. So last year, if we look at it, Anthony Hopkins had absolutely no momentum going into the Academy Awards. He hadn't really won any major prizes, but then walked away with best actor. But then I paused and I thought there is something at the Toronto International Film Festival called the Tribute Awards. Now, the Tribute Awards is something that TIFF hands out. It's kind of, I don't necessarily want to say it's like a lifetime achievement award, but it kind of is in the sense of it's celebrating a body of work from a different performer, whether it be an actor, actress, director, cinematographer. Last year, Anthony Hopkins had actually won the TIFF Tribute Award. It was like the only major piece of hardware that he won, and then he turns around and he wins Best Actor. Now, I fully expect Will Smith to win, but if you want to play a long shot, Benedict Cumberbatch did just win a TIFF Tribute Award. It might not mean anything, but it might mean something. So my pick is Will Smith. That is who I'm going with. But at the same token, don't be surprised if Benedict Cumberbatch wins. I don't think he will. This isn't me trying to hedge bets or anything, but I'm just saying it's one of those things. I've seen crazier things in this world, and it's one of those things that could definitely happen. Before we continue, I've got a question. What is there a particular aspect of the Oscars that you guys are like really looking forward to? Like some people really look forward to the red carpet and what the stars are wearing. Some people look forward to like the monologue. Some people, maybe it's a particular award that you're interested in. Is there any aspect or any particular aspect, I should say, of this year's awards that you're looking forward to? Or do you even watch them? Or are you just like, hey, Keith's live, I want to come and check out what he has to say? Like, do you watch the Academy Awards? I don't expect everybody to be, overly into it, but I am curious if it's something that you guys are indeed looking forward to. So let me know. One of the things that I really liked, I'll say this about Will Smith's performance in King Richard is that, sometimes when you're watching a film and you have a reaction to a character, whether it be positive or negative, and in this time it was like, man, this guy is just so pushy. He's so annoying. I'm thinking to myself, he's nailing his part. He's doing his job. He did a fantastic job. And what's even more interesting, complete representation of what Richard Williams apparently is like. And I mean, you can't really argue. I mean, when your daughters are like the 1 and 2 best tennis players to have ever done it, I think you're doing something right. So good on him. But again, I think Will Smith's going to win. There's always an upset at the Oscars. Every year there's always like an upset. One year everybody thought Sylvester Stallone was going to win for his performance in Creed, and then Mark Rylance out of nowhere came and won. So there's always some sort of an upset, and I can't call it. Hopefully by the time my article is published on Friday, I'll have like something more definitive in terms of like what that upset is. But there hasn't been a ceremony where there hasn't been an upset. So I'm interested to see what it could potentially be this year. Let's move on to Best Actress. The nominees here for Best Actress, we have Jessica Chastain in The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Coleman in The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz in Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman in Being the Ricardos, and Kristen Stewart in Spencer. Sometimes when I'm approaching these, I like to do a bit of a process of elimination. So right off the bat, I'm taking out Nicole Kidman in Being the Ricardos. Nice that she got another nomination. Barely anybody's talking about that movie. Okay, so we're taking that out. Penelope Cruz probably had the performance of her career, one of the best performances of her career in Parallel Mothers, but again, not a lot of hype around that film, so I'm taking that out. And we're also taking out the first 2 people that I've taken out there from my process of elimination are former Academy Award winners, and so was the third person. Going into this, I thought Olivia Coleman would be the person to beat for her performance in The Lost Daughter. I no longer feel that way. I don't think that Olivia Coleman has the momentum to win. Now, here is an interesting thing, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I've never been somebody who was really invested in like the royal family and the comings and goings and what they were doing and things of that nature. I tell you that to tell you this. I think Kristen Stewart's performance in Spencer was one of the best performances that I saw last year. I was very, very impressed with it. She was barely recognizable in the role. She completely transformed into Princess Di. And there was a time when I thought that she could be the person to win this. Historically, you look at some of the different roles: Helen Mirren playing the Queen, Colin Firth playing the King. These are all people who end up winning Academy Awards. There's just this love for royalty, and I thought, okay, well, Kristen Stewart's on the right path. Ladies and gentlemen, my pick. How could it be anybody else? Of course, I am going with Jessica Chastain. This picture, by the way, is not a flex. This is me at the world premiere of The Eyes of Tammy Faye at the Toronto International Film Festival. And there was a clip of me just before this picture was taken saying, and I quote, "I'm not a genius at these things, but I think I just saw an award-winning performance." And I do. I think she completely humanized Tammy Faye Baker. Prior to this movie, I thought Tammy Faye Baker was just this lady who wore a ton of makeup. Jessica Chastain's performance, it made me feel differently. People will say, Keith, you're being biased. And I will say maybe a little, but let's also keep in mind that leading up to this, she's basically racking up like so many different awards for this performance. I will be shocked if she doesn't win. Years ago, I would say that I was surprised that I live in a world where Denzel Washington wasn't a Best Actor winner, and then he won. Now I am telling you that I will be I'm shocked that I live in a world where Jessica Chastain hasn't won an Academy Award, but I will tell you, this coming weekend, we are going to be righting that wrong. She is going to win, and I'm going to be very excited. So I don't get anything from it, mind you, but I'm very excited. Obviously, my favorite actress, my celebrity crush. I think that she's fantastic, and I think she was great in this movie. Jessica Chastain is as close to a lock in all of these predictions that I've given you. I think that she's going to win. Tim coming in. Love this update. Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom and Kristen Stewart for Spencer, for me personally, are my top votes. I love that. Tim, thank you for popping in and giving me your opinion on that. I think Tick, Tick, Boom was a great movie, also playing on Netflix. Garfield had a really great year. I mean, not only did he have a cameo in a big movie, but we also saw him he was actually Jessica Chastain's co-star. He played Jim Baker in The Eyes of Tammy Faye. So a lot of people were like, oh, I'm surprised he wasn't nominated for that. Well, I guess because he was on the track to be nominated for Tick, Tick, Boom. So Tim, thanks so much for joining tonight. And thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move into Best Director. We have got Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, Ryusu Hamagachi for Drive My Car, Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza, Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story, directed by a guy you might have heard of called Steven Spielberg. All right. Okay. Now, first of all, I'll cover this in my article, but under the category, first of all, of who should have been nominated, and I know I should probably let this go, but can we talk about Denis Villeneuve, aka Denis Villeneuve? Going into this year, I thought that Christopher Nolan was the best director when it came to IMAX. I no longer feel that way. I feel that Denis Villeneuve took the baton from him with just a phenomenal representation of Dune. I thought it was such a great movie, and the fact that he wasn't nominated. The film itself got 10 nominations. Apparently, it directed itself. So I am shocked that he's not nominated. But anyways, I got to let that go. But I wanted to get that off my chest. So going back to these nominees. Kenneth Branagh is a nice sentimental choice. Belfast was a fantastic movie. I still wonder, would Belfast have been as powerful if it wasn't filmed in black and white? We'll never know, but I think it was a fantastic movie. Drive My Car, which, spoiler alert, is going to win Best International Film. Fantastic film as well. We always have a movie, it seems, that has like some sort of dotted line to Hollywood, like Argo, Mank, what have you. This year it was Licorice Pizza, a good movie as well. And Steven Spielberg remade a movie that I don't necessarily thought needed to be remade, but he did a great job with it. I think West Side Story was a beautifully shot film and wonderful. Now, here is the interesting thing. Jane Campion, who has been, again, we talk about this award season, who's been racking up the awards, seems like your lock to win best director. But and maybe this is me looking at something that I shouldn't look at, but here's an interesting thing. So let me put this up. So last week or so, she was at the Critics' Choice Awards, and she wins, and she goes up on stage and she accepts her award. Now, have you ever been in a situation where your mouth keeps moving and it shouldn't? Like, you keep talking, you got that diarrhea of the mouth going, and you should really be shutting up, but you don't. I've had those moments. And Jane Campion had those moments too last week when she was receiving the Best Director trophy at the Critics' Choice Awards. She went up and she was very thankful, and she like, thanked some different people in the audience. She saw the Williams sisters. I don't know if it was a deer in the headlights moment, but she saw the Williams sisters and she said, "Hey, Venus and Serena, congratulations. You guys are an inspiration. I've taken up tennis." Then she a little flirt with Will Smith. Maybe, Will, you can come over and and give me some lessons. And then she spoke to some other people, but then she came back in her acceptance speech to the Williams sisters and she says, "I really, admire you guys, but unlike you guys, I have to play against the men." Of course, she was referring to the fact that she's the only female, female director nominated, and this is the face that came back at her. That's the face when you got bad fish, ladies and gentlemen. That's not a, "Oh my God, you go, girl, you're so cool." It's like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" To the point where Jane Campion had to come out with an apology for basically stepping in it. Because, I mean, yes, I will concede the Williams sisters are obviously female tennis players, and there's the Women's Tennis Association, but let's also not forget the fact that they're absolutely dominating in this sport, male or female, to the fact that years ago they had a back and forth with McEnroe on it. So for Campion to kind of use that platform to kind of like give a compliment, which is, here's a tennis analogy for you, backhanded. Now here's why I'm bringing all of this up. The voting hadn't ended for the Oscars by the time that award show went on. And there are a lot of people who have said, "I'm not," and I quote, "I'm not voting for the overrated Power of the Dog." Will that upset the cart? I'm not sure, but it's definitely not the best look. Anyway, for your Oscar predictions, I would still say Jane Campion seems like the one to go with, but it made it interesting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let us end this with the nominees for Best Picture. Oh, there's a lot of them. Let's go through this list, shall we? Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, West Side Story. All right, some really great films in there. And I don't know if this is representative of what some of your favorite movies were from last year. Of course, a lot of people have been like, "Hey, where's the love for Spider-Man No Way Home?" It is beyond rare for a superhero movie to be nominated for Best Picture. Off the top of my head, Black Panther might be the only one. Definitely Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises should have been in the conversation. But no, this is what we have. So again, Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. Okay, let me handicap this and give you my prediction for your Best Picture of the 2022 Oscars. All right, so right off the bat, take out Don't Look Up, take out Drive My Car. It's already going to get the Best International Film. Take out Dune, take out King Richard, take out Licorice Pizza. Nightmare Alley is a very entertaining film if you haven't seen it. Really cool ending. And take out West Side Story. That is going to leave us with Coda, Belfast, and The Power of the Dog. Now, here's where I get a little nerdy. So one of the things that Belfast and The Power of the Dog have in common is that they both went through the Toronto International Film Festival. Now, the reason that this is important is that it's extremely rare for a film to win Best Picture that hasn't gone through TIFF. Of course, Belfast won the People's Choice Award at the Toronto International Film Festival, as well as you had Power of the Dog, which screened there. Now, you could use that and go back and say, well, Keith, Nightmare Alley didn't screen at the festival per se, but TIFF had a special screening for it. Drive My Car was also at TIFF. Dune was also at TIFF. I hear all that, but I'm also looking at the momentum that they have coming into the awards. So going into the awards, the Belfast, which hasn't been winning a lot, can't be ignored because it's won the People's Choice Awards at TIFF, and of course, The Power of the Dog has so much momentum. I am not picking either one of those. I am actually picking Coda, which was my favorite movie last year, to win Best Picture. Now, selfishly, I feel great when my favorite movie wins Best Picture, but it's beyond that. To be honest with you, this is a movie that I think is just so incredibly original and so different. For the first time, we're really seeing, the deaf community represented on screen. I shouldn't say for the first time in a very long time, we're seeing like the majority of the cast is deaf. The only person in this shot that you're seeing is the lady to the left, Amelia Jones, who's the only person in the cast who can hear. So that right off the bat was very interesting. Consider this: usually at film festivals, so, for example, at TIFF, you've got the People's Choice Award, which is voted on by the public. At Sundance, they've got a jury prize, which is voted on by a set jury, and then you've got the audience prize, which you guessed it is voted on by the audience. Coda swept both. Like, it wasn't even close. This was like so incredibly popular. This is like not even just like the feel good movie. I think it's kind of like the movie that we need right now because it's so different. I think again, if it's not this one, I would love to see Belfast win it. I don't think that it will though. I am going out and I'm telling you right now, Coda is going to be your winner for best picture. It's been racking up a lot of awards this award season, and it's going to be the one that I'm predicting for you right now is going to win, which I'm very excited about. Again, like Chastain winning Best Actress, there's nothing in it for me. I don't get a statue. I'm very excited when that hard work comes through. Let's keep in mind, Sundance is an independent film festival, so this was not a big budget movie. And one of the things that I've been saying for the last few years during these pandemic times is this is the time for effective storytelling. You don't necessarily need big blockbusters and explosions and things of that nature. What you need is good storytelling that connects with an audience, and Coda does that. So Coda is my pick for best picture. Now, if you joined late, again, my full list of predictions will be available this Friday in Ottawa Life magazine. I will be posting it to all of my socials. I would love to hear what you guys think in terms of who you guys think are going to win. Agree, disagree, let me know. Ruben's coming in. Great video. Anyone else underwhelmed by many of the Best Picture nominees? It's an interesting thing, right? Because I don't necessarily know how many people were lining up to see Licorice Pizza. The entertaining movie with probably one of the most terrible names, quite frankly. Yeah, it's I don't necessarily know that the awards always align with what people are watching. I've been fortunate to talk to multiple people who've seen Coda and who have really liked it, and of course, Dune was one of those films that a lot of people were heading out to the theater to see. So, but I definitely hear you there, Ruben. Colleen says, I haven't seen any of those three. Well, Colleen, let me tell you that The Power of the Dog is on Netflix. Belfast, I don't think is on a streaming service, but I know it's available to rent on some of like on iTunes, and Coda is available on Apple TV Plus. As a matter of fact, let me go back to this full list here. In addition to those, Don't Look Up is on Netflix. Drive My Car, I don't believe it's streaming on a service right now. I could be wrong, but you can definitely rent it from like iTunes or Google Store or your Rogers or Bell. Licorice Pizza as well can be rented right now. Nightmare Alley, I believe I saw on Prime. Power of the Dog is on Netflix, and West Side Story is on Apple TV Plus. So they're all available. It's interesting. There was a time, dating myself, but there was a time when a movie would come out, let's say in January, and it wouldn't hit videos until like July or something. Apparently that was the time of the dinosaur, because the Batman is going to be available to be streamed like in about 3 weeks or so. Share Bear coming in with a yay. I think that's for my prediction on Coda. Ladies and gentlemen, again, if you guys have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out to me. I love chatting with you guys. And if there's anything I can do to help you guys with your pools, by all means, let me know. And again, these were my thoughts. These are my predictions. If you guys disagree with any of them, that's totally cool. I would love to hear what are some of the movies that you really liked last year. thanks so much for checking this out. Again, my article will be available this Friday, so I hope you guys have an opportunity to check that out. Enjoy the Oscars. I'll probably jump in and do a stream right after the Oscars just because I'm going to probably be feeling chatty about Jessica Chastain winning Best Actress and Coda winning Best Picture. And I'll just be like, my predictions will just be so awesome and everyone will just want to like virtually high five me. So thanks. You guys take care and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.